Welcome, lacrosse friends, to the final day of the 2023 IIJL World Junior Lacrosse Championship at the SaskTel Center. I'm Stephen Stamp with Cody Jansen in the booth for all three games today. We are starting with the fifth place game. It's a rematch between Poland and Australia, and we think Australia is going to be more competitive. It was a low-scoring first game. Cody?
Well, yeah, they lost the first one 7-2. They've gotten better as the tournament's gone along as well. I think they're starting to utilize some of those local players a little bit better, and I think that has played a huge difference into their trajectory. As for Poland as well, we all know the struggles they face. They've struggled to keep the ball out of their net at times, and their offense is yet to find consistency. So that's what I'm looking forward to, is Ken Preston, Stewart, Hunter Sika, and those guys clinch fifth place.
Both teams are having a lot of fun. Also having fun is the third member of our broadcast crew, Ryan Flaherty, down between the benches. We're going to hear from him now.
Always having fun, Stamper. And yeah, we're looking forward to a real great day of lacrosse here at SaskTel Center, and starting off with this fifth place game. And you introduced it really well with the rematch here, but two teams that have certainly feel that they have played better as this week has gone along. For Poland, the issue in their last game in the crossover quarterfinal was discipline. There were a lot of minor penalties in that game. They know that they need to clean that up, especially mindful of being on players' backs. They're trying to adjust to that international officiating standard. Some of the guys used to more of the summer ball standard, and hopefully they can adjust that here tonight and look for another win over Australia. As for the Australian side, they are not focusing on their opponent whatsoever tonight. They want to work on their own game, and specifically some of the elements of box that a lot of the players aren't that familiar with. And so the changes, the shot clock, those sorts of things are points of emphasis for Australia here today in what should be a real fun placement game.
It should be. It means a lot to these teams to win this game. You might think, oh, it's fifth place, but I know I wound up taking the bus here with the Australians from the hotels, and a really rousing speech from assistant coach Jack Stokes saying, hey guys, we've come a long way, we're here and we're getting better and better. Let's go out and win this game. We believe, we have complete faith in you. Now Poland, they're thinking the same thing. They feel like they beat Australia once, they're not about to let them come back and take it the other way.
Jack's the best. He's
an
ultimate motivator as well. And I'm curious to see how Poland plays a little bit better, you would have to assume, around Maximus Chernish in this one. He'll be starting in red tonight. He's got a .500 save percentage, goals against average of 28. Obviously played that one tough game where he stopped 14 out of 28, and that was his first ever game as a box lacrosse goaltender. As for Australia, Lucas Dishon gets the call between the pipes. He's got a goals against average of 26 and a save percentage of .671. He stopped 53 out of 79 in the tournament, and obviously his game was the toughest they played in the round robin. It was against Canada.
Yes. And it'll be interesting to see, like you said, what the difference is. The Australians, such a young team, and they've improved so much through the course of the week. We see improvements during the course of a game from shift to shift with these guys, because it is such an important step in the road for them on their journey in the lacrosse world. And, they are not going to take any time off. They're not going to think it's just another game. This is a really important one for them.
And with so many homegrown players as well, this is a lot more meaningful than just a placement game here. This is something they have looked forward to. They said at the start of the tournament, hey, we know we're not going to win gold. We don't want to finish last. Yeah. So this is their opportunity to do so.
And it is, again, we've got a bunch of these Australian players new to the box, new to playing inside the inside game. But also at the other end, Max Chernish, his first box lacrosse game was the first game he played here at the tournament. So that's going to be a challenge for him. As you said, they've got to support him a bit better than they did in the first time around. But it'll be interesting to see how things go. As you mentioned, the Aussies really, both teams really, trying to find consistent scoring. The game between them was by far the lowest scoring of the tournament. We'll see if this one, just underway, fifth place game at the 2023 IIJL World Juniors, can ramp it up. It's going to start with an over and back as it gets away from Hunter Sika, and Australia will get the first actual offensive possession.
Won the first face-off of the game, did Sika. He's 53% in the tournament.
Dylan Hebig leaves it there. They've got Joseph Showbrook up at the top. There's Austin Butler, moves it across. A quick shot by Hebig off a Polish player, and Australia will get it back. No shots yet. Gus Ratchey moves it to Butler. Skip pass, Hebig. Going to let a bouncer go. It's off the backboards. Gets past everyone, but it was all Aussies running after. We have a Polish player with a broken stick. It is right in the high slot. Hard shot. Doesn't get through. So far, Poland certainly is supporting their young goalie. Hebig having to watch out for that broken stick laying on the turf as he tried to get that shot off, and Australia's going to run out of time on the shot clock.
It's a good defensive set for Poland. That's the way you want to start as well. Keep them to the outside. Don't allow any easy shots on goal, especially, as you said, when you've got a new goaltender between the pipes.
Now we'll see what they can do offensively. It's Preston Stewart, who's been dynamite throughout the tournament. We'll leave it up at the top for Dallas Goodwill. And Goodwill, they were saying, I was talking to Luke Szczepaniak, the coach for Poland, and he said, yeah, we really want to get Dallas out there more. We didn't realize until afterwards how little he played in the last game. There's the first save for Dishon on the little underhand shot from Sika. Higgins gets stripped, though. Stewart is going to get a pass back from Sika, but it's a little bit too high. It'll roll down the length of the floor. That should be an over and back.
Yeah, that's just a wild pass that you really should not be throwing, especially early on in a game. Some of those times you really got to make sure you take that extra breath and find out where your support's coming from.
Yeah, because he had time. There was a bit of checking, but it wasn't, even if you get stripped there, you're 200 feet from your net. Take your time. Find somebody. Australia will move it down to Ollie Kernigan. Quick pass across, doesn't quite connect with McIntosh. That counts as a shot on net. Oh no, we have one shot up on the board. Has anyone actually got a shot to the goalies? Seems a bit excessive. Schoberg. Over to Henry Elliott on the far side. Nice little pick and roll, but the pass is just a little bit too far for Hunter Mayers. Mayers comes out with it from the board, gets by a couple of Australian defenders. Nice job by Michael Green to not let him get to the net, and the 30 expires.
We talked about Michael Green beforehand. You were super impressed with him. Again, he's one of those players who I've liked. I've also seen him, have some areas of his game that he's got to clean up. But as for a leader for this Aussie side, he has been awesome.
Yes. I think he has been a great leader, and I think he's playing well. Here's a chance coming down on the outside, and Luke Thomas just whistles it wide. Goes off of a Polish player. Seems like a generous reset, but
let's say it grazed the post.
Okay. That's a wide post. Australia with possession back. McIntosh rips it. That didn't touch anything, right? Okay. No. No.
Oh, let's have another conversation.
Yes.
Maybe Tanner Fetch saw something. Ryan Flaherty between the benches. Ryan, did you see something?
Not on the second shot, but the first one definitely. I even heard a little bit of a graze off the post there. So looks like they got to reset here again.
Okay.
Second shot hit the fourth post.
There you go. Oscar Page setting up on the back door, wanted it. Now he's going to come up top to get the pass. And it's tipped by Schoberg, and that was trouble for Chernish, who then takes a knee to the head from his defender as Chase Richardson was going after that loose ball. Richardson now on the run, onto his horse and takes off. He's going to pull up, has a trailer. Eventually he gets it up to Sika, and Poland will set up their offense. Braxton Ernst. That low pass right down by the feet of Elliott, but he does manage to come up with it. Double team though, and the ball pops out. They're going to run out of time on the shot clock. There's nothing really coming together for Poland on that one.
Well, the offense has been a little stagnant. The ball needs to get swung around a little bit more. It's dying in some players' sticks right now.
Poland will get it back. Here's Preston Stewart. A lot of space over on the side. Being watched by Ratchey, and now he hands it off and they get it over to the lefties who cycle around, come back to Sika. He's going to try to drive. Green is on him, gets by though. And the shot, and there's a legit save for young Lucas Dishon. That rip didn't get through. May have actually hit his teammate. I think Daniel Gutneck took the brunt of that one. No, they got a reset. Did that get to the goalie? Poland has the ball in a bunch of time on the shot clock. Sika looked like he may have caught Dishon a little unprepared, but just at the last moment, he slides that shoulder over to make the stop. Poland gets the rebound back. Backdoor attempt to Stewart. He rips one. That's straight into the stick of Dishon. Green's looking for somebody off the bench. They've got him. Page has it. Can he get to the net for a good shot? Oh, he's going to pass it to the trailer, Showbrook, who is absolutely flattened from behind by Coda Tran and called for landing in the crease.
It's a big hit.
It is.
Got to keep your head up.
Henry Elliott. Showbrook's shot from the outside is well wide. Picked up here by Sika. Wide open on the crease was Ernst, and he got a little overexcited and left the ball to pop off to the turf as he tried the shot. James Suffolk runs through a check, loses the ball, but gets it back. Green's going to rip it ahead just before the 10 count. McIntosh will handcuff Statham, but Jake Statham is able to come away with it. And Australia will set up. They've got 12 to shoot as Ratchie comes on and hands it over to McIntosh. McIntosh from the outside. That one's blocked. Comes straight back to him. That's over the net. Fresh 30. Okay, the high official has called the 30 because that was not even close to the net.
Well, I was going to say, I don't think that was possession either from Charlotte Lafreniere.
No. So far, the defenses have had far the better of the offenses in this game.
Maybe 7-2 is as high scoring as these guys get against each other.
We're going to have a crease violation. And Australia's going to try and push the other way. Close is looking. Jackson Close wants somebody up ahead. There wasn't really anywhere to go with it. He eventually gives it to Archie Papazoglu. We'll just leave it there for Showbrook. Australia still has to get two forwards out there. You got a dozen seconds on the shot clock as they start their attack, and it opens up. Showbrook cuts in. Backdoor. Joshua Nickel had to double clutch and was down below the goal line. Big chop's going to be the first penalty of the game. It's going to be a slashing call on Thomas Ratt. And Australia will go to the power play.
Well, we've seen Thomas Ratt take his fair share of penalties in this tournament. He's been good for a couple of games, and as you get a look here, Hebig got to the middle, Stick got up high on the cage, plus he got 2 on the hands there, so well worth his 2 minutes.
Yes, he earned that one. You can give him 2.5 for that one. Page setting up at the top of the power play. They move it quickly, and McIntosh gets the shot down in the crease. It's going to be an over and back. Page is getting there in position. It's not a problem if you run back. It's only if once play is blown back in, if you get in the way or play the ball or delay the other team playing it. So good job by Page to at least slow down Nate Weens, and Poland setting up on offense, 17 to shoot. Poland has 1.5 minutes on the penalty to kill. Little pick there. Sika going to go for a full circuit. He gets turned back, run into the boards, and bounces the shot, gets it on before the shot clock, but it's taken by Australia. Here's the outlet pass, but there's nobody to outlet to, and Poland will come back the other way.
We've seen Lucas Dishon's positioning get so much better over the past year as well, where we saw him at the tournament last year, looked really uncomfortable and net, was struggling with the bigger goals and everything. Now he's really dialed in this year.
Yeah, the goaltending's such an important part of the international game. I mean, what a shot from behind the back, around the back, right? Preston Stewart, but there's the save. The positioning for Dishon helps him out. You need to develop those goalies in your nation, and got a pair here for Australia that are coming along. Green all the way coast to coast, backdoor pass, wide open net. Lovely draw and dish by Green, and the finish there by Dylan Hebig.
It's a good finish, and for Maximus Chernish, he got over there if it was going to be a quick stick opportunity. The issue is that the defender just simply ignores Hebig, runs right past him. And for Hebig, he's laughing. He's got the goaltender down and out. He's got a yawning cage to look at.
So the first goal of the game comes 8.5 minutes into the first quarter. And Hebig's pretty happy.
All smiles for Hebig as Australia draws first blood here. And yeah, I think Coda Tran's going to want to redo on that play on defense.
Luke Thomas is going to go right to the net. There's a stop by Chernish as Thomas just barreled through the defenders. Outlet pass is caught by Gutknecht. He's going to wait for some help. Gets it off to Preston Stewart. Nice hustle by Thomas to go up the floor, get back on D, and then get to the bench to get some fresh legs out. Shireflug just banged into the boards. The pass to Elliott can't connect. Jack Higgins went to pick it up, got bumped off. Solid loose ball battle, but the clock's going to run out on Poland, and the battle would become moot. That's a heck of a battle, though. I like that.
I like the undersized Tyler James going to work there. I know they got him listed at 5'11". I think that's a clear lie, but he's going toe-to-toe with Henry Elliott and a couple of big boys.
Oh, nice job avoiding the over and back. I like the play by James there to not grab the ball, realizing he was on the wrong side of center. And here comes Australia to set up. See what they can do with it. Oscar Page. We're really liking this young man, and he almost sneaks that one 5-hole.
It's a good save by Chernish.
Ball pops away from Ryan Valentino, but he gets it back. Now he loses it again. It's snagged there by McIntosh. He was looking to see who was coming for help and didn't protect the stick. So this is Valentino pushing it forward, gives it to Stewart. McIntosh, annoyed that he was stripped, gives a whack back to Valentino. That's fair. Elliott hands it off. Little push shot there from Hunter Mayers. Elliott gets it back. They've got 8 to shoot. Oh, it was a reset. Poland continues to attack. Sika ducks right underneath his man. Big save by Dishon. Here comes James Suffolk. Low pass handled by Statham. Showbrook to Ratchie. Page is the 5th Australian coming out. He's right behind the man getting the ball. That's Ollie Kernigan, who takes the shot, gets his own rebound. Page shoved out of the way of that pass. Pretty solid defensive play. I think that was Rat that shoved him off. Here's Ratchie. Hits the middle. Hits the cutter in the middle. Kernigan tries it around the back. That turns into a shot. It looked like it might have been meant as a pass, but gets onto the goaltender right in the chest pad.
Just try a little rainbow. See if you can catch Chernish off guard.
Right. Sika, spin move. It works, but a big kick save by Dishon. It's quite a quarter for the young man. Sika will get a pick from Goodwill. Let's use it to go the other way, and Elliott rips one. That one's blocked out front. Little low pass goes over to Ernst. Nice strip on the trail check by Higgins. But Poland gets it back, and Elliott fighting his way to the net, and that is just a big man's goal as he blasts through and tucks it home.
Use the high elevation. That's a nice finish there. Is the 6'3" Henry Elliott able to work around one defender, two defender, and he just goes low on Dishon. Perfectly placed shot. We kind of saw Poland, the ball was dying in the sticks a little bit. I'd say off that possession, that was their best ball movement on offense, where it wasn't just a hero ball type setup.
Yeah. 1-1 with 3:03 to go in the first. Scrambled drop, it is snagged there. And Rat will try to fight his way forward. Papazoglu all over him, tries for the overhead wrap check. Can't quite get it. Still trying to check him, and Rat's just taking off with it. Now he hands it off. And Mayers will move it to Sika. He's going to get a pick, and that's a big pick. Yeah.
I thought they were going to let him play it. It was a little second or two delayed.
Almost snapped Papazoglu in half. To his credit, he popped up pretty quickly that time. He has had some issues this week with getting dinged up a little bit, so good to see him able to pop up and run off. Diving attempt by Page. He scored one like that earlier against Canada, I believe, wasn't it?
Oh, he scored twice like that.
Twice like that.
He's figuring it out.
That time, Chernish was ready.
And the part a lot of these young forwards haven't figured out is the dive to the middle and go 5-0 with the scoops. Don't try go up high. Goalies still have big chest protectors.
Yeah. You got space down around the feet. Poland circling. Mayers. The D all over him. Oh, that's a nice low shot. Dropping the head of the stick, a low to low from Preston Stewart. Knew how much space he had inside that post and made no mistake.
8th goal of the tournament there for Preston Stewart. He's been the most impressive Polish forward here. And that bouncer addition kind of drops awkwardly. It's not really a clean hockey style butterfly. He kind of just fell on his knees, and that actually opens up space, if anything.
So Poland will take their first lead of the game. Just under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter here of the 5th place game at the IIJL World Juniors in the SaskTel Center. I'm Steven Stamp with Cody Jansen and Ryan Flaherty. Poland comes away with it. Rat almost looked like he was going the wrong way for a second there, kind of running back towards center. He was looking for somebody coming off the bench to pass it to, but realized he was going to run out of space because they weren't that close yet. He did eventually hit Sika, who will pass it across, and Showbrook will keep the ball moving. Here's Sika. Stewart goes up high. Sika cuts down and pings one off the crossbar and gives his stick a good wallop on the boards. He's unhappy with himself for missing that chance. Stewart wanted the ball in the give and go. They're going to go to the lefties instead. Here's the captain Shireflug. Bounces almost straight back to him, but it's knocked down by Suffolk. Grabbed there by Butler, who will battle through a couple of checkers, and he is off to the races. Breaks clear of everyone. Comes in alone, shoots, scores. Nice breakout. What a rush and a finish by Austin Butler to tie it up.
Nice finishes, right? Austin Butler's got his 3rd of the tournament here, and you can kind of see Sika just gives him a little whack and goes for a change. Gives Butler a free breakaway. Makes no mistake, and the young man's pumped up about tying the game at 2.
Well, things picking up a little bit offensively. We are at 2-2 with 1 minute to play. Butler getting a pat on the head from Tyler James there. And you can definitely see a difference. We talked about the Australians improving through the course of the week. And they are quite clear that they are trying to develop players for the senior national team, the current generation of players on the Aussie team. A lot of good players. They're getting older. They're going to need to keep refreshing that crop. And they see some real promise among these players. I'm sure Jack Stokes, their assistant coach and defensive coach, looking forward to being part of that. Here's Close, hands it off. It's about a 5-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Statham down to Kernigan. He had tons of room, so he lets it rip. Didn't get where he wanted, but not a bad shot to take. Might think a bit early in the shot clock, but I mean, you couldn't use the whole thing. Poland does have a bit of time. They're not really using it, though.
They could have called a timeout and gone 6-on-5, too.
There's lots of things they could have done. That's all past now. It's not because of the coaches. The coaches are saying go to the net, yelling, pointing, waving, trying to get their players to head to the net. That's just not happening. It will be 2-2 as we prepare for the second quarter of play. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back to the 2023 IIJ World Junior Lacrosse Championship here at SaskTel Center. BioSteel is a sponsor of the IIJL World Juniors, And we are going to go down to Between the Benches with Ryan Flaherty.
Here with Poland head coach Luke Szczepaniak. Luke, every team wants to end the tournament with a victory, so what have you told your guys in order to hopefully ensure that for your side here today?
I told them even though we're playing Australia again, they're a different team than at the start of the tournament, and we need to adjust our game plan to suit because they've learned a lot and they've certainly improved since the start of the tournament, and they're not going to let us have it easy. So we got to work hard for every loose ball and every possession. Speaking
of that opponent, have you seen anything different from the Australian team here just in the opening 15 than maybe in your first matchup?
They look more comfortable on D, getting their D sets out, and I think that's been a bit of trouble for us because we weren't expecting that, and their offense too. Everything is just a lot more streamlined than on Monday, and they look ready to go.
All right, thanks a lot for this, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks.
Guys.
Thanks to TechSavvy for their support of the IIJL World Juniors. Here at SaskTel Center, we come back to a 2-2 game. Australia scored 2 goals in the entire game against Poland in round robin play, Cody. They've got 2 here in the first quarter. Of course, they had their 2 goals by about 6 minutes into the second last time and still didn't get any after that. So they're going to want to keep things rolling. Poland, of course, just hoping they get more looks like Preston Stewart had on that last one.
Better goaltending as well coming off this Australia side.
Thomas trying to come away with the ball off the face-off. Big collision of about 5 players. And then the battle in Weens. Guess we got a penalty coming now. It might be both.
It should be both.
It
Rat
should be
and
both.
Papazoglu, they're both getting into it. I know Rat goes for the big slap shot of Papazoglu's stick, but yeah, you got to stick up high first off.
Yeah, it's fair to just send them both off. And as Todd LeBranch would say, let them think about what they've done.
Well, they got plenty of time to do that. Again, I think it's just you got to keep the calm heads because games like this, where it's 6v5, you run the risk of things getting out of hand at these versus a gold medal game.
Australia will start with possession, and Jake Statham will take it. Keep your eyes on Oscar Page, about to take the pass right here. We've really enjoyed what he's done. He's leading the club with 5 goals in this tournament. He's sitting at the back door, but Hebig from the top. That one's going to go wide. He's trying to get it before it gets to center. He won't get there, and it's scooped up by Gutnecht. Hebig takes a good angle to slow Gutnecht down. It's a nice job in transition defense. Now Hebig's going to go get a break. Oh, he's actually going to get a breakaway. If he can pick it up, he could not. Still fighting to get the ball. It is along the boards. Interesting, you can actually see the ball in there as everyone's battling for it. And eventually they're going to award possession to Australia.
It's a good battle by Hebig, and now he gets dropped by Elliott. That's going to be a call.
So Elliott picks it up. Looks to say, why? Why is play being blown down? But he at least makes his way to the penalty box. And it will be a power play for Australia.
Well, I don't think he likes it, but he did lay a pretty good lick in on another Saskatchewan product in Dylan Hebig.
Illegal cross-check is the call. I'm sure he'll go back and watch that and say, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have argued. Or not. Page up at the top this time as Kernaghan goes to the shooter spot. Still strong right for Australia. Page goes to Statham. Perimeter passing. Now they start to cut through. A little double pick to try and open Kernaghan up. They kind of picked the defenders into him. There's a penalty coming to Poland. It's going to be a slashing call on Hunter Mayers, which means a 5-on-3.
Well, it was a low slash, and I think that's where the issue came about.
Yeah, let's go down to Ryan Flaherty between the benches about the penalty kill here.
Well, obviously Poland not wanting to be in this situation, but to their benefit, I guess if you want to call it that, last game against Scotland, head coach Luke Szczepaniak said our penalty kill unit spent more than half the game on the floor, so we got lots of reps, so we'll see if they can make good on those here. Obviously they don't want to be in those situations, but they have got a lot of recent experience to draw on.
Thanks, Ryan. Coda Tran, Nate Weens, and Chase Richardson will be the Polish players tasked with stopping this 5-on-3. Looks like Austin Butler will be the safety valve up at the top as Kernaghan goes over to Ratchie. He gets it back from McIntosh. McIntosh setting up down on the screen, on the post. Some perimeter passing for Australia so far. Now they go backdoor to Page. Tran was right in that passing lane and it doesn't get through. Pretty good job by Poland so far, but then they let Page just walk in, but he bangs it off the chest of Chernish. Down to Page. Backdoor quick stick. It is stopped by Chernish. It's quite a save.
Big save right there. You saw Oscar Page try to go out in front of the crease. Normally his shot's 5-hole. He opted out that time, and I think he's probably regretting that decision.
Yeah, he shot at a big old expansive chest pad, as it turned out. Australia pretty passive with 5 players out there to check these 3 Polish players, and then they just let a man drive to the crease. It's a little odd to just let Sika go. You have lots of guys to go get him. 20 seconds left on the 5-on-3.
They did have 6 on the floor as well.
Yeah.
It was a slow change by Jackson Close, and that got him in trouble.
Yeah, they don't even argue that one. They know that they were, the player coming off was well on the floor still while somebody came out. So that will end the 5-on-3, make it a 4-on-3 for 18 seconds. And then we'll be 4-on-4 for a while. Then Poland's going to wind up with a power play out of this, depending on the number of any calls that are made later. Here's Stewart at the top. Australia trying to decide who they're going to check, if anyone. Poland's just waiting, and now the first penalty is released, and Elliott comes in with 7 on the shot clock. He was looking like he wanted to let one rip right away. He's going to get the pass back, but James tips it away. Nice job by Tyler James, and the 30 expires as he picks it up. Green was looking at McIntosh, who was the first guy off the bench, got down on the crease, but Poland did take away the passing and have him covered. And Poland now goes to the power play. Shot by Thomas. That one's knocked wide, and they've got Mayers up the floor. Statham hustling back to take that away, and Gutnecht will just run it up into the offensive zone, drop it behind him.
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose, no. He went back and got it. Poland with 13 to shoot on this first possession on their power play. Given the way the time lines up, it may be the only chance. That one's wide. And it's scooped up there. Ripped down the floor by Papazoglu. He's got the man coming off the bench. It's a 2-on-1. Back to Statham. Back. And Ratchie has it pop out of his stick on a pretty nicely executed 2-on-1, other than dropping the ball at the end.
I think he heard the footsteps of McShannock coming after him.
McShannock's footsteps aren't that heavy, though. Poland setting up. 5 seconds left in the nickel penalty. Well, the too many men penalty that nickel is serving. Poland takes a shot that almost got past Shirefluke, which could have led to a breakaway. Bounce pass. Nice idea. It's a bit of a tricky one to time that when you're both running at full tilt. Nate Weens will just slow things down for Poland. Poland completing their change as Shirefluke takes it. Elliott's in the slot. Sika. Elliott wanted one in front. The shot goes wide. 30 will expire.
Had a lot of penalties in this quarter and opening game, but only 1 goal in the power play and relatively quiet on both offensive fronts.
Yeah. Bit of a break maybe for Valentino as he checked them, and just as play was being blown in off the restart. For a moment, I thought we were going to see one of the Australian specials from the first game where just everyone left the floor and Poland was able to pick up the ball. But James did go and pick it up. Poland gets it back now, and Valentino. Nice job hesitating, not getting himself trapped just over center along the boards until he saw that there was a lane out the other side of the congestion, and Poland sets up on offense. Preston Stewart looking for cutters. There's nothing there. Now Sika's there. That one's off the crossbar. It's going to go all the way down the length of the floor. Chernish hesitated, started to go out after it. It actually hits the boards and slows down just inside the restraining line. Poland comes back. We'll set up again. Australia gets a change as Suffolk comes out. He is the man at the top of the formation, right there. And Dallas Goodwill cutting through with Sika with the ball behind him. Goodwill set to pick. Sika to the net. Good job by Suffolk to tie him up, and Sika steps in the crease. They try the long pass. It's just away from Ratchie, but kind of pinballs around a little bit off people, and that's going to be a back-in call.
And I don't think Chernish knew that that was a back-in either. He tried to throw an outlet, but he looked a little lost wandering back there for that loose ball. I'm not sure he exactly knew where it was going to be bouncing off of, and almost got caught in a real bad position.
Yes. I mean, to be fair, it's, again, his second game playing box lacrosse. He's not used to having the boards and figuring how they impact on the game. Nickel flings to the far side. They look for the pass back to the middle. Statham rips one. That's a little bit wide. He's going to track it down, but it's just out of his reach. It's snagged there by Weens. Weens, who's been a real injection of energy for Poland, will peel back out and set up the offense. Penalty coming to Australia. So Chernish is making his way to the bench.
And now Poland sends their sixth guy early.
Yeah, he was about halfway to the bench when their sixth runner came out. So everybody send a player over.
And I'm not sure Australia realizes they're also getting a penalty here, as they just ran and tried to get their offense out on the floor.
Looks like they were looking for an outlet pass while play was blown down. Yeah, Australia hasn't sent anybody over yet. Jackson Close is saying we got to send someone.
Now they'll find someone.
Yep. Nickel is on his way. Should we say 5-on-5? And Poland is going to get possession.
No, it should be Australia.
It should be Australia possession, but okay, there. Tanner Fetch is changing it. He listened. The officials have a chat. I mean, they had possession. It was blown down. Well, it was blown down in the second penalty to Poland. So. Ball will start up at the top with Showbrook. Poland goes with a bit of a line defense down the middle of the slot. Now they spread out to pick everybody up. Kernigan with a bit of a drive, goes behind the net, spins. Up to Statham. They've got a backdoor look. McIntosh just missed the net. Statham will get it back. They've got 11 to shoot, and they're going to go back to McIntosh. This time he's going to miss the other side, and Kernigan will track it down. I'd say go back to him. Oh, McIntosh has gone to the bench. He's like, let somebody else take a shot, and that's going to be called a touch off of Poland. So the Australia calling Papazoglu back to the bench so they can get the forwards back out. Thomas was the last one to join the set, and he will pass it now down to Hebig. Across the floor. That one was right in between, but a nice save by Chernish. So McIntosh getting his shot dialed in. Goes to Thomas. Underhand shovel. They skip it over to Hebig. Toe drag, shoots, scores. Nice play by Hebig. He knew where he was going before he even had gotten around the defender, but he makes it through and bangs that one home to put the Aussies back on top.
Just a beauty for his second of the game, sixth of the tournament. A little toe drag, cut to the middle, and use the defender as a screen. Not much of an opportunity for Chernish as he had to look around his screen, and Hebig put that right inside the far post.
That is a long stretch since we've had a goal. Last goal of the first quarter scored with a minute left, and we're now 8 minutes plus over 9 minutes between goals. Defense is definitely getting the better of the play so far. Australia will try to extend their lead. Statham telling everyone to slow down a bit. Let's get all set. Butler, not sure he knows somebody's behind him. Got a little help from Thomas and gets the pass off just in time. They go down low. Nice catch by Ratchie. Finds Statham. That's a pretty good play, but it's turned aside by Chernish, who stays right in the middle of his net for that shot. Coda Tran rips one ahead. Stick riding a little bit high on Weens, and he's going to look for a call, and then he's going to flatten a couple of Australians, and that will be a possession call, as he was just escalating until something came about to blow the whistle.
It's the intensity you used to seeing in the last game of the tournament here. These guys are going to leave it all out on the floor.
It's good to see. I mean, really, the intensity was kind of lacking for much of this game, and hopefully it will ramp up a little bit. There's a shot from McIntosh. He corrals that loose ball off the boards. Little pick from Showbrook. Page gets it off the boards after it was either tipped or he just couldn't quite see it as it came across. Kernigan, nice pass, and there's a finish on top by Showbrook. And Australia is starting to look like some box lacrosse players.
Well, Ollie Kernigan's able to zip this one inside, and it's Shawbrook who just catches it on the fly. Puts it off that near side post and in. And for Chernish, you can see him hang his head after the fact. You know, he kind of wants a defender just to step in the way or get a stick on hand, something to slow him down right in the slot.
So 4-2. Australia is fired up, and it's interesting because their coaches have been really working, especially Jack Stokes. I mean, Wade Hammond, the head coach, is more a bit quieter, cerebral, but Stokes is the fired up guy. He's the one who's going to get him going, and I think now it's like, don't get too excited. Let's stay within our games. Let's keep doing the things properly. Here comes Poland trying to get it back. Mayers, that's a pretty nice pass down. Elliott throws it over, bounces on Stewart. That one goes off of Dishon. That's a nice save. Stewart gets it back, though. Fresh 30 for Poland.
I don't think Australia's had a 2-goal lead all tournament.
I don't think they have. In fact, didn't they score first against Canada? I was trying to think if they've had a lead. They come away with the ball here. Dishon, long outlet pass. It's a little off target to Butler, and he's going to get passed by McShannock, showing good wheels, but gets knocked into the boards, and that will be Poland possession on the loose ball push.
They scored first against Israel.
Israel, there you go. So they had a lead for a little while.
40 seconds.
There you go. Poland setting up in the offensive zone. Elliott. There's a little roll by Mayers. Tries to feed it through. Can't quite connect. It is grabbed by Sika on the far side. Papazoglu on him, but Shireflu gets it. Nice save by Dishon. They're going to have a back in call. Poland gets it. They're going to push again. Backdoor attempt. Stepping out front. Nice hit. Flattens Sika. Elliott's got it. Fresh 30 for Poland. Kind of a slow pick process for Poland to try and open up some space. Now cutting underneath is Stewart through a pair of defenders. Good save Dishon, and Green comes away with it. Makes a little lob pass out to Higgins, who will keep it moving forward. And Australia now trying to push things. They've got a 2-on-1. Papazoglu over to Ratchie. Shoulder save. Ratchie kicks it through the crease. We'll try and go and get it back. He comes away with it and has possession. Australia a little trouble making that catch, but eventually they will get set up. Nickel gives it to Kernigan at the top. Hebig rolls around to the top to take a pass here, but they're going to cut through the middle. Nice pass. Nickel can't quite bury it. Gets the rebound off the boards, though, although still bouncing. Fighting in there for it is Keenan Hunchak. Several players still going after this ball. See who can come away with it. Australia's down to 10 seconds on the shot clock. Hebig misses that pass. They're down to just 4. That shot is stopped, and Chernish has it for Poland. Let's go between the benches to Ryan Flaherty.
Yeah, guys, just moments ago, after taking that hit in his own end, Trey McShannock came right off the floor, his right arm a little low, saying, I need the trainer in my shoulder, and he went right down the tunnel.
Australia got it back after that back in, so they are pushing back towards the net. Statham threw it over to McIntosh. Kernigan trying to battle through the middle. Nicely checked by Gutneck, and there's a dive attempt by Page. Went back to the short side, but landed in the crease after he missed the shot. Poland gets it.
You like the look by Page. Again, it's aggressive. It's getting to the front of that. It's making life difficult for the goaltenders, and that's what he's been doing all tournament.
Poland will try to creep back into this one as we come into the final 2 minutes of the first half at the 2023 IIJL World Juniors. Stewart. Mayers tries to duck underneath, gets a little bit of a pick to open him up. Schoberg with the roll was there, but Mayers had been knocked out of the way and wasn't able to see it. Penalty coming, though. We'll give Poland a chance.
Michael Green will be heading off to the sin bin here. You get a look up in the middle. Got the slash in earlier. Call him holding the stick, I guess. So he got away with the slash, and he'll get dinged for holding the stick. I know Poland was very up and at it on the bench. They wanted one, if not multiple calls.
Yeah. So Poland with a chance to get the power play working. Sika and Stewart really the guys to keep an eye on. They have been driving the bus over there for Poland. This one to Elliott. Gets away from him. Shireflug. Find the back. Stewart back up to Sika. There's a chance for Stewart. Nice save, just getting a piece of it. Was dishing. That looked like it was labeled for the far corner. Comes straight back to Poland. Shireflug. There's another nice save on the far side by Dishon. You talked earlier about his positioning, and it is really evident how much coverage it gives him. Australia with a two men up ahead. They get to Ratchie. Shoots, stopped by Chernish, and it goes all the way down the floor, right past Suffolk, who's there with him. Now it's a 2-on-1, and Weens will step around and shoot. Nice job. Not able to put it in, but a rebound chance, and that one is absolutely rifled by Chase Richardson, but up off the boards, and it flies forward. Here comes Higgins, and we're finally going to slow things down a little.
Australia was lucky because Gus Ratchie was off the bench 8 steps before the player came off there. I couldn't believe they got away with that.
Penalty coming to Poland now. Australia's got 10 seconds to shoot. McIntosh drives in. Crease violation, and it will be a slashing call to Poland. And Lucas Dishon is sprinting back to the net. You don't have to see a goalie run back to the crease.
Well, he's bored. He's only got 22 shots in this game.
Right?
He's used to getting 80 a game. So it'll be 4-on-4 now for essentially the rest of the opening half. And so a timeout's getting called.
Well, we go down to Ryan Flaherty between the benches. And Ryan, what are you hearing down there as the game progresses?
Well, the intensity has certainly picked up here in the second quarter. You're talking about maybe a little bit of a lack of engagement here to start the game, but it has really picked up in the second. The emotions are starting to get going, and the Australian bench really emphasizing the speed of their changes right now. They're just yelling at guys to get off as quickly as possible, trying to keep that as organized as they can. And for Poland, they're just trying to get back to a little bit of equilibrium here right now, because I think they're realizing what they thought was going to happen was this Australian team playing a lot better than they did in the first game against Poland.
And as Cody noticed on that last play, Gus Ratchie taking to heart, getting the quick changes.
Well, let's get a look here. Michael Green with the little dish over to Hebig, who's able to tuck that up high for his first of the game. Dylan Hebig, of course, one of the offensive motors for this Australian side. Cut to the middle, and when you get in the good shooting spots like that, scores are going to put it in the back of the net.
31.6 to go here in the half. Stay with us during halftime. Ryan Flaherty will bring you more interesting nuggets from around the tournament. And we'll have highlights of the first half of this game and the previous game from last night. Australia taking their time. They have pulled the goaltender.
Well, there's about a 1 second differential, so you could walk it down to last play.
Yeah. So with 12 seconds, they start to look. Now they move it over to Ratchie. McIntosh tries to Hebig on the back door. Shot from Page doesn't get through. They actually still have time, and they get one off, but just making the save was Chernish. That turned into a pretty good chance. Didn't quite connect, and we will go to the half with the score Australia 4 and Poland 2 in this 5th place game at the 2023 IIJL WJLC World Junior Lacrosse Championship. Thanks for being with us. We'll be back with more halftime coverage after a quick break.
Welcome back to our fifth place game here inside SaskTel Center on the final day of the 2023 IIJL World Junior Lacrosse Championship. And it is Australia who leads Poland 4-2 in a rematch of their game in group action that saw Poland take Australia out 7-2. So Australia looking to turn the tide here in this placement game and fly home to the long flight back to Australia with some pretty good feelings. Well, we thought we'd take some time here at halftime of this game to give you a little bit of the background and history of this event, as it's now been going for several years. And the roots of the IIJL World Junior Lacrosse Championship actually began back in 2015 when at an event called the U19 World Lacrosse Challenge. That was held at 6 nations, and there were 12 teams involved, including 3 from Canada and 3 from the Iroquois, as well as a number of other teams from around the world. Even a club team from Germany was involved. And that first year saw an all-Canadian final as Canada West defeated Canada Sea Lax 5-4 in a very low-scoring game. May have been a little bit more low-scoring because of a guy named Christian Del Bianco, who, of course, is now starring in the National Lacrosse League. He was one of the goaltenders who starred in that tournament for Canada West. So after that year, however, it was the IIJL taking over ownership of the event for 2016 and rebranding it the IIJL World Junior Lacrosse Championship. In 2016, it was also held in 6 nations, down to 8 teams this time, but still two sides from Canada and a couple from the Iroquois as well. And 2016 is notable for one thing in particular, and that is it's the only time since this event began that a team not wearing Canadian colors won the title. It was Iroquois West who took it that year over Canada Sea Lax. Well, then there was no event in 2017, but in 2018, a little bit of a different format and a new venue as the event came right here to Saskatoon. It was a 3-team affair, and the first time that all the Canadian players were assembled on a single side. It was Canada, USA, and Iroquois going together in a round-robin style event, with Canada facing Iroquois in the final and winning that one by a score of 15-10. The breakout star, however, that year in 2018 from the event may well have been Marshall Powless of the Iroquois side, who eventually went on to be drafted by the Saskatchewan Rush and is now a member of the Albany Firewolves. Well, 2019 rolled around and we saw the first 6-team edition of this event in a very similar format to what we were seeing here this year. In fact, 5 of the same teams. The only difference, of course, we don't have the Haudenosaunee here this year, Scotland in their place, but every other team was the same. And Canada getting back to the podium that year with a victory over Iroquois in the gold medal game. And that year also saw the USA picking up this first medal at this event, winning bronze. Of course, the COVID-19 pandemic then reared its ugly head in 2020, so there was no event that year. And in 2021, with travel restrictions still in place and preventing a lot of teams from traveling, there was another format change. It was a 3-game total goals series between 2 Canadian squads, Canada East and Canada West. Canada East won all 3 games by a total of 15 goals and took the title that year. But last year, back to 6 teams as the event moved to Winnipeg and fall back to this format, and Canada once again taking the title. And that brings us to 2023, and we have a great final tonight as USA will have their best result ever. Of course, the bronze medal, their best showing. They're looking for a gold this year, but they will have to take out Canada in order to do that in tonight's final. Well, that's a look at the history of this event as we are going to make some more history here tonight at SaskTel Center. More highlights coming up after the break from the first half, so stick around. You're watching the 2023 WJL World Junior Lacrosse Championship.
The Canadian Lacrosse League is proud to work with Support Our Troops to help Canadian military members, veterans, and their families overcome extraordinary challenges as a result of military service. Visit supportourtroops.ca for more information. Welcome back inside the SaskTel Center, lacrosse friends, for the 2023 IIJL World Juniors. I'm Stephen Stamp, he's Cody Jansen. And Janner, the first half between Poland and Australia in the 5th place game may have started a little slowly, but it's ramping up, and Australia is having a pretty good performance here.
Well, it looks like an early start for both of these teams, in which it is through the week we've been having. It's a 2 o'clock start locally, and you can see both teams did get out to slow starts, but as you see the Michael Green dish over, dragged both defenders, hit Hebig on the back door, who made no mistake with that. That's 1 of 2 in the game. Here's Henry Elliott just bullying his way to the middle and beating Lucas Dish and Preston Stewart. Again, another low shot. That's all the offense Poland's mustered, though, in this opening half. Here you get to look back the other way, and it's Butler on the breakaway, beats Chernish, and you can get the glass jump in while you got the turf in here. Everyone knows Australia's eating good right now, looking for their first win this week. Hebig cuts to the middle, buries, and you get another look here as Shawbrook continues the offense. Australia has looked good in this game. I think this has been the best they've been playing. As for Poland, they're going to have to really assess at halftime what they got to do better. We kind of saw that a little bit yesterday as well in the Canada-Scotland game, where Scotland pushed back at times, made Canada play in some uncomfortable situations, but at the end of the day, they've been the best team all week, and Canada did dominate last night in that semi-final, as we get a look at some of those highlights here as well. See Grady Holmes able to go far side on Ty Peterson there. Eastwood zips one over to Holmes. I think Eastwood's been one of the best players in this tournament. Call him a forward, call him a defender, transition, whatever you want. The kid can ball out. There you see both of his from last night. And Scotland was pushing back, but end of the day, Finn Halliday, the Canadian offense, just too much. As you see Ethan Dalkeith get beat there for 1. Finn Halliday just a low to low. He makes it look so easy, and I think that's what's the most impressive part, is he can score in different ways. Goodman got player of the game for Canada, and that was Goodman's strongest performance. They'll need him to keep that rolling tonight against the Americans. As you see, a little twister goes 5-hole on Eric LeBlanc, and for Canada, now the real test comes. They got to play their toughest game. Happens tonight, 8 o'clock, right here in SaskTel Center.
Exactly. The challenge continues to rise for Canada as they will face the U.S. tonight. Before that, we have the 5 o'clock game, the bronze medal between Scotland and Israel. But first, we have the second half of 5th place between Poland and Australia. We'll be back with that right after this break. The Canadian University Field Lacrosse Association and the Maritime University Field Lacrosse League are proud education and career development partners of the CLL. Visit cufla.ca and mufll.ca for recruitment opportunities to play university lacrosse in Canada. Here we're going to play some box lacrosse in Canada with the 2023 IIJL World Juniors. I'm Stephen Stan with Cody Jansen and Ryan Flaherty down between the benches. It's 4-2 Australia. We are 4-on-4 for 7 seconds, and then the Aussies will go to a power play for just under a minute and a half. And Cody, it's time to get this one rolling again with an extended face-off battle.
Shots dead even at 23 apiece after 30 minutes of play.
And we're just going to do it all over again. 7 seconds that now Australia's penalty, this is actually kind of big because it was exactly 7 seconds left in Green's penalty. So 7 seconds on the negated draw are going to release him. Oh, Australia's already, oh, they're sending him back to the box now.
That's just goodwill right there, saying, get back in there.
Yeah. So they'll just release him. Now, does he go at the whistle or when play
No,
is?
they said they'll hold it for 7 seconds. So they'll just hold the clock for 7 seconds.
Okay, so it's just a redo. Another extended battle, though, between Sika and McKenzie. It pops straight up like a women's field draw. And Coda Tran comes away with it. Green pops out of the box now. And away we go. Poland with possession. Sika setting up. McIntosh up on him. Double team. They're trying to push him over center. Nice job to swat it ahead. But Papazoglu was there to get it. He throws it up. And McIntosh will slow things down a little bit. Australia's going to get their forwards out. He'll hand it over. McIntosh seems to be going back into more of a defensive role. He's been playing more up front earlier in the tournament. A few players shifting around as we go. Australia just getting the power play going now with 10 on the shot clock and Nickel on his offside. Should have probably just kept McIntosh out there, but it doesn't matter because Ollie Kernigan is going to rip one home and extend the Australian lead.
First of the game for Ollie Kernigan. It's his second point of the afternoon as well. Nice feed by Ratchie, and Kernigan just goes short side. Second of the tournament for him. And it's right in between that right arm and body, where if you're Chernish, you got to be closing off that 7-hole, especially knowing that forward shooting short side.
It's a nice shot on the bench of Kernigan going over and giving Jack Stokes a hug. Stokes, of course, played for Australia in this tournament a few years ago and is now on the bench. He is playing in British Columbia, living in Delta, well, Tawasin, same idea really, and playing Senior B, playing the Western Arena Lacrosse League. And that's a rip by McIntosh. Page was looking for it on the back door. McIntosh kind of faked there and then took the shot that almost worked, and that's in. Hebik took the shot. Chernish didn't realize it was through him. Two Poland defenders dive in to try and stop it, but it just gets across the line.
There's the hat trick marker for the local product in Dylan Hebig, and you can see that wrong side of the road. It's just a very loose stance by Chernish there. We mentioned it's his second box lacrosse game ever. This one just hits someone. When you're open up like that, you allow the ball to roll behind you. And for Hebig, the smiles continue, and Australia's up by 4.
He's having fun joining this group. Australia is really committed to having Australian players playing, but they do like to have a few players, Canadians, join in and give them some experience, some depth, some mentorship. They've had guys, Mitch Ogilvie played for Australia a few years ago and was just a fantastic presence. He now, of course, a stalwart with the Peterborough Lakers and the Rochester Nighthawks. Here's a chance. Ollie Kernigan just a little bit too far for him, so Gutnick's going to take back and take him away, and Poland gets all the rest of their guys out before Australia can flood the zone with forwards, so they'll just slow it down and set up in the set. Oh, here's Ratchie. Kernigan trying to get open in the back door. Pass doesn't get through as Poland was clogging up that lane fairly well. Showbrook. Backdoor attempt. Nice try by Page, just a bit high. And the 30 will run out on the Aussies.
Now Poland's got to elevate their game here. Down by 4. They have a lot more to give, and we've seen it all week. But today it's just been very stagnant.
And the lane wide open for Sika, who goes in and is stopped by Lucas Dishon. And Australia it was like they didn't realize Sika was there on that one. We've all talked about how Australia's defense has been better. Luke Szczepaniak, the Poland coach, said Australia's defense has been better. It has, but they're still learning, and that was one where they could be substantially better on that particular play, but that's all right. They get it back, and McIntosh will let one rip into the belly pad of Chernish. Does the Pee-wee handoff, and I thought Rat was going to fling it ahead. Instead, he goes across the floor, it gets loose, and Papazoglu comes away with it. Nice little change of direction. That pass is going to go past a couple of Aussies. Kernigan fighting for it, but Charlo Lafreniere gets it, and Volan will eventually get back over center and have possession, albeit with a little detour en route. Goodwill leaves it there for Sika. Preston Stewart is going to cut into the middle and then backpedal, take the pass. Here's Elliott protecting the ball, but it's still popped free. Still loose. Poland did get a fresh 30 out of it, but now the ball's down on the floor. And loose ball push called on Australia, so Poland will get it. Elliott, watched by Close. Nice slide help by Tyler James. That's what they're talking about with the Australian defense being better. Coming to each other's help without racing out and getting out of position. Then saved by Lucas Dishon. That pass was Eventually tracked down by Michael Green. He throws it ahead. Pretty nice pass to Papazoglu to beat the 10 count. Here's Statham. Australia gets their attackers out. That pops loose. Kernaghan misses it, and that's going to be a breakaway. Valentino racing in. Misses the net. Kernaghan is there to get it as Gutnecht was coming in hard for the rebound. The pass ahead doesn't connect, and it'll be returned to Poland. Valentino gets stripped. Tenacious forechecking and backchecking on both sides, making it tough for either team to really get a lot of clean looks and completions of passes. Now Poland's got some time to set up Stewart. McIntosh on him. Higgins was coming to help. He'll now head out and pick up Scheierflug. Outlet pass. Australia trying to push the pace. That's the backside of the stick for Chernish. But he turns it around to pick it up and make the pass.
A little uncomfortable. But Australia's been turning it over as well, and Poland just hasn't capitalized.
Yeah. That shot is stopped and then gets through. Echoes of the Hebig goal as there was an initial stop, but the ball finds its way to the back.
Well, and we'll see if this can open the gates for Poland here, because they have been less than ideal in this one. And Preston Stewart now, it's a simple low-to-low, getting back to the basics. Kind of bounces high 5-hole on Dishon, and for Stewart, that's his second of the game and 9th now of the tournament.
Winds up actually being almost identical to Hebig's in a way, in that it hit down low and bounced up off the pants and then in. So it's 6-3 Australia. Not a phrase we've said very often at the World Juniors, and 7-3 Australia, maybe even less, as that rip by Butler finds its way past the foot of Chernish.
Well, and Butler's had a quiet tournament, but he's really shown up in a big way today. Now he's got his second of the game. It's his 4th of the week, and that's just a high to low that catches Chernish off angle. If you look, he takes that step to his left. It's too far to his left, and now they're going to make the goaltending change, and William Koza's going to come in.
Nice job going around the screen that Nate Weens wound up providing. Great shot from our crew. I want to give a shout out to the crew for the camera work and replays and production that they put on. They're doing a really nice job bringing this tournament to you. We are pleased to be with you. I'm Stephen Stamp with Cody Jansen. It is 7-3, and Australia's got the ball back. We'll see what Koza can do. He has been outstanding at times in this tournament. Australia's Kernaghan has it to start. Showbrook looks down and does go to Butler. Low pass, but Statham gets it. Another low pass to Page. Australia with the gradual change. Kernaghan's just going to blast one. Welcome to the game. William Koza takes one off the face. Unrattled. And Australia has a fresh 30 to work with. Ratchie quickly down to Showbrook. Statham popped up high. That opens it up for Page low. He misses on the far side, though. Penalty coming to Poland after Kernaghan was dumped into the crease. It's going to be an interference call to Ryan Valentino.
Well, if you're Valentino, you just can't do this. If your player that you're defending doesn't have the ball, you cannot go and flatten them into the crease. And so it's an easy call for the refs, who are obviously paying attention to the crease at that time. And for Poland, big kill here, because this one could slip away for you fast.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to let Australia get further away, especially given how much better their defense has been, how well Lucas Dishon is playing today. Page at the top again on the power play. McIntosh finds Kernaghan, skips it back to him. It was there in the pass. Nice pass by McIntosh. We have a perfect angle from up here as he fed that one through, but Hebig not quite able to bury it. Fresh 30 for Australia after that one, as they have it back to set up on the power play once again. Page is now rotated down to the crease, and Hebig up at the top quarterbacking. Leaves it for McIntosh and cuts through the middle. Oh, that's a beautiful shot by Kernaghan. A little decoy by Page in the middle of the slot, and just a rocket from the outside.
Cardigan got off to a good start as well. Scored in Australia's first game, then he had been held off the score sheet since the score, and now he's able to get 2 in this game, and that's a perfectly placed shot. William Koza, Matt Vince, I don't care who's in net.
Yeah.
That's not an easy save for anyone.
I was thinking the same thing. That's a tough shot for anybody to stop. 8-3, Australia goes up with the power play goal. Poland is in a hole. Penalty coming to Australia. So Koza will sprint to the bench. Preston Stewart whips it across to the far side. They've got a man behind the net. Come up to Ernst. Stewart at the top fires it. Stopped by Dishon.
And that's been the difference in this one. Dishon's been making the saves you have to make. He hasn't been spectacular. It's not like he's really changed the world in this game, but he's been consistent. He's not given up rebounds, and he's really just calming down this Australia defense at times. As you get a look at the face-off penalty, where you can see it was just a cross-check to the head, and Luke Thomas, it's unnecessary.
So Poland hoping to match the power play goal Australia just got and creep back into it. The shot from outside by Shireflug didn't go. Australia's got 2 men ahead. Suffolk can't catch it. Green's going to go back for it. It's not over and back because they never possessed the ball, but they're still not going to possess it. There will be a loose ball push called on Australia, and the Poles have it, and they're going to take off immediately. Shireflug spins. There's some space. He comes to Stewart on the near side. He's thinking shot. Shireflug takes one. Oh, and that was off an Australian, but then it went off of Sika as he tried to catch that ricocheting ball, and Australia will get it and move it ahead to Higgins.
Just how the game's been going for Poland.
Yeah. There are days when you think this is not our nature. Oh, that's a bad position for Oscar Page. And it comes back to bite him.
Poland's got to start playing with speed here. They are generating nothing in transition.
And they have guys who can transition, who can push the pace. Setting up, still on the power play. That's a good lane for Elliott, and he bangs it home.
Same high to low. He scored his earlier goal on, and this one's going to be a power play marker here with 6:10 to go in quarter number 3. Elliott, tall man at 6'3", able to go low on Dishon, who has to respect that Elliott can put it in the top corner, but he's shooting it low and at the feet. And that's multiple now for number 6 in red.
Australia pulls the ball out, McIntosh, but it goes straight to Poland. Poland setting up. We'll quickly go down to Ryan Flaherty as Poland sets up. Well, let's hang on for a second as Poland's now getting into their play. We'll find Ryan in just a moment as it is pulled down by Sika. Stewart is there. That's a nice save by Dishon because that pair is deadly, but he makes the stop on the open look. Australia coming out. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, I was just going to say on Henry Elliott, he's playing a little bit of a different role with this Poland team than he does in club, and he hasn't maybe the primary shooter as often, but with Poland trying to climb back into this game, you might see him take a few more shots than he has earlier this week because he does have a good shot, and he is a primary scorer for the SWAT.
Nice pass out to Nickel, who finds Kernigan going for the hat trick. Koza stays on top of that one.
And another call against Poland. It's a holding call, and just every time you feel they're starting to find their rhythm, well, they decide to play shorthanded, which is not helping.
Yeah, I hadn't seen the hand up on that particular case, so when the save was made, I'm thinking, transition, go, push it. And, of course, no opportunity to do that. So, and it's Stewart this time will go to the box, and that's a tough one because that's where so much of your offense flows out of.
Well, you get another look here. It's that free arm wrapped around, and maybe doesn't seem like a ton, but he does hold them back a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's no question it's technically a hold. Whether you, and it, by the standards it's been called. I think it's a fairly consistent call. Page again up top, gets it back from Statham. Kernigan is sliding over on the back door, gets it, rips it. Oh my! Ollie Kernigan is feeling it. He is having a game of his life.
Well, and yeah, what a shot right there for the hat trick. But watch his feet here, and that's what I want everyone at home. Watch his feet. It's those 2 steps to the left that Koza doesn't follow. Koza comes straight out at him, and he's able to work his way down. You see the best shooters in the NLL do that at times. I think of a Dan Lintner when he can score because he's moving his feet the slightest bit, and the goaltender doesn't read it. Well, that's what Ollie Kernigan does, except he's all 6'2" of him out there, and he's able to go top shelf.
Right, so his little steps move him about 4 feet. But yeah, great point. I love that analysis because you can see that he's not turning his body. He's not throwing off his passing availability or shooting angle as he does it. Great finish by Ollie Kernigan. And it is 9-4 for Australia. Mayers passes it back. That pass was low as Elliott gets toppled head over tea kettle. Here comes Papazoglu. He's got a man ahead. He's just going to run himself into the boards with a little help there from Mayers. Australia still gets it forward. The pass to Statham doesn't quite connect. It's a fancy little way of avoiding the crease by Charlotte Lafreniere. And Poland gets it up over center. Rat will hand it off. 4 minutes to go in the third. Drive to the net. That's a great save by Dishon. Nice job avoiding the crease by Suffolk as well. Didn't go back in. The pass ahead, though, just a little much for Butler. And Koza steps out. Here comes Stewart pushing it. It opens up, so he goes to Sika. You can see the defenders staying out with the wide men, and then they both come in towards Stewart. He had some options. Sika was stopped by Dishon once again, though. Toe drag. Sika now with the pick. The roll, is not there because Higgins got a pretty good grip on the stick there. Which is a good play if you don't get caught. Oh, that is a rip by Sika. That's what Poland's been looking for.
I was about to say that Sika's having no look inside. He's just got to shoot from the outside because he's got an absolute bomb like that. And watch it. It's a high-to-high. It's around Michael Green, who's stepping back. So he uses him as a screen, even though he's not directly in the line of the net. And that makes it hard for Dishon to read because you really don't know if that's going to be a hard pass or a shot. And so you kind of have to second-guess yourself, as Dishon did, and that allows a little bit of space on the top shelf to be open.
And Poland's been going low all game. You see Stewart with the goals low. You see Elliott with both his goals low. So you try to get into their head and make them think. And Sika just changes it up brilliantly. Thinking a little bit like Ollie Kernigan on that shot. We've seen some rockets high to high lately. It's 9-5. Poland's not going away. See, you asked if that's going to spark them up. Maybe it is. There's a great chance for Goodwill. He went through the crease, though, and it's going to be Australia possession as he picks it up, the first player to play it.
And that just comes down to the awareness. You have to know where you're walking on the turf, and if you step through the crease, you cannot be touching it.
Exact same thing for Tyler James. As he runs into the crease on his way out, his play is blown back in. That's going to turn it back to Poland.
Just copy and paste what I said for Australia, too.
Exactly. Stewart, nice move. The slide check helps there from close, and that contributes to Dishon making that save. Here comes Higgins. Nice awareness to see Papazoglu there, and that's a pretty poised breakout for Australia. So those are some of the little things that is so nice to see the Australians growing and developing their box IQ. Here's Showbrook over to Kernigan. Gives it off to Page. Page across the top. Bounce pass. Kernigan's going to fire again. That one's off of Tran as the 30 was about to expire. And Poland will come the other way. We're into the final 2 minutes of the third quarter. Valentino gets a pick. Suffolk on him, runs through it, and another save by Dishon.
I love the look, though. They're playing with a little bit of speed, a little pace. It makes things uncomfortable for Australia.
Yeah, the little pick is so much tougher to deal with when you're on the move. Australia will slow things down a bit now. And you don't want to stop running if you're Australia either. So that has been a factor for them in helping to open things up. But here's a chance for Thomas. Bounces a hard shot, but it gets up and out of play. Good positioning by Gutnecht allows Poland to come away with it. Hunchak on the run. He's going to peel out. Gutneck staying there, but Australia plays it pretty well in transition defense. Poland will set up as we come to the final minute. Stewart gets the pick from Sika. Little slip, takes the pass on the roll. 12 on the shot clock. They're going to look to the far side. No, Sika holding on to his defender, falls, so he takes a shot. That's off the shoulder cap. Goes straight back to Gutneck. He just kind of shovels it blindly, but it goes to Goodwill and turns into a pretty good chance. Australia can't hold for last shot, and that's a bounce pass ahead to Butler. Hebig goes in to try and get it. Oh, nice job pulling it forward with the foot. Butler gets it. Now they could take a timeout. They could slow it down. Oh, no, they're still on there. They've got 10 left. There was no possession change, sorry. So there's 7 on the shot clock. Australia's going to have to push forward here and try and get a shot. Up to Kernaghan. And he is absolutely believing in himself. Late in the shot clock, let her rip. Almost snuck it through the 7-hole there. And there's the forecheck by Hebig. He's going to run out the end of this quarter. It's a good one for Australia. They will go to the break with a 9-5 lead and 15 minutes to push for a victory in 5th place here. Poland will try to come back when we return to the 2023 IIJL World Junior Lacrosse Championship in SaskTel Center. Thanks for being with us. We'll be right back after this. Signature Lacrosse is the official ball provider of the IIJL World Junior Lacrosse Championship. Visit signaturelacrosse.com, and we are going down to the bench with Ryan Flaherty.
Here with Australian head coach Wade Hammond. Wade, a little bit of a different position for your team here with a lead now heading into the 4th quarter. So what are you telling your team here to try to preserve this victory?
We're not actually worried about the victory. We're still worried about our the things we need to do. Stop the clears. Good one. Stop the fast breaks. We need to stop the substitutions getting away from us on the other end. We've just got to keep on doing what we're doing.
We're getting a little shower here from the side, but just what have you liked about your team's effort so far?
I like the commitment. I just like the fact that they're playing as a team and they're turning their IQ, their lacrosse IQ, and that's what we come over to get.
All right, thanks for this. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Guys.
Adrenaline Lacrosse is an official supplier of the Canadian Lacrosse League. Visit adrln.ca for more. And I love that, Janner, from Flats down at the bench with Wade Hammond. As Wade Hammond saying, we're not worried about the win. They want to win. Don't get him wrong. They want to win, but he's pleased with what they're doing, the advances they're making as a team and as individuals.
Not worried, but you can't say it's not top of mind on every single player on that bench.
Yes. They're going to play to win here, but you play to win by playing good box lacrosse. Poland has the first possession of the 4th quarter here in the 5th place game at 2023 IIJL World Juniors. That pass is a little bit high. Gets away from Stewart. He will track it down, but Statham right on top of him. Stewart comes away with the ball, cuts to the net. Nice fake, nice save. Lucas Dishon. The shots are 40-33, 39-33 for Poland, and Dishon, you mentioned earlier, has really been a difference maker for this club. Hebig's shot saved by Koza. Hebig's going to get it back, though. He's got cutters up the middle, but Poland taking the chances away nicely, so Australia's going to have to slow it down a little bit to get it to Kernaghan. Slowing things down. Showbrook to McKenzie, who just blasts one, or McIntosh, sorry, Matthew McIntosh, and he has had a bunch of shots from that spot and been closer and closer, finally gets one.
Well, sometimes they don't drop until a little bit late, and there you go. The helmet pad says it all. Australia feeling it, and it just feels like one of those games where when they need a clutch goal, they're getting it. We saw it in the round robin where they really struggled with that. Their quarterfinal game, they couldn't get those clutch goals. Now they're able to start seeing a few of them drop, and they're well on their way to a fifth-place finish here.
That's a great performance by Australia. They really come on, and the energy that they have built through the game has been terrific. Kernaghan fighting his way through. He's going to go to the net, take that shot, and actually bounce that off the crossbar. Page gets the loose ball in the rebound. And Australia with another chance. Thomas couldn't get that on target under some pressure from the defense, and it's going to be run out by Rat. They had Sika up ahead, but it would have been a long angle pass. I think Rat just thought he didn't want to throw it away. Now he's going to hand it off to Stewart. Poland will set up. Some credit to Australia for taking away transition chances for Poland, not giving them a chance to really push it. There's Sika with a shot. It's loose. Oh, nice second save. As Dishon lost track of the rebound, but stopped Elliott, who now tries a dunk, and Dishon throws the arm up. Penalty coming to Australia. That rip is stopped by Dishon again. And this is a young goaltender really coming into his own.
Can't score through the chest right there, and Poland not hitting their spots clearly, but they're getting a power play opportunity here, down by 5 with 13 left to play.
It's the captain, Michael Green, going off. So Poland will take a chance here. Interesting point, I just double-checked, there are 9 different clubs represented on this Australian side from all around Australia, from the 4 provinces of Victoria, South Australia, West Australia, and Queensland. Here's Elliott with the ball. Shot is well wide. That hit the tech-savvy sign out in the corner. Goes straight to Sika, though, and they've still got a dozen seconds as Shireflug gets it back to Sika. Stewart's down low, and they try and get to him. He just was heading for the net just before the ball got there. They're getting low on the shot clock, so Elliott will try another high-to-low bouncer. That one's wide. Any touch? No, so the 30 will expire. Suffolk on the run. Australia, slow change, didn't want to risk anything when they weren't going to get transition anyway. Now they'll go to the penalty kill with 1:15 left on the green penalty. Hebig heads back out high, passes it down. Australia with a lane open for Ratchy, and that's a pretty tricky shot, but stopped. And here comes Poland. This is a wide open break, but it gets away from Chase Richardson. He's going to have to chase it down in the corner. Mayers was trotting through the middle, but knew there wasn't a good opportunity in transition there. They'll just wait and get the power play set up. Now he wants it, and Mayers is going to let one fly around the screen, but it's blocked. Papazoglu stopped that one and is scooped up and run out here by Close. Australia pushing the pace shorthanded. They've got a chance. That's a good save by Koza, and a nice chance for Statham right on top of the crease. And it's Poland's turn to go. No. Koza was looking. He always looks up. And that one's knocked down by James.
Right idea, wrong execution.
Exactly. That's not a penalty. And Poland gets it back and driving the net. Stewart, that's trouble for Australia. But Dishon with the save, and then Stewart is going to get himself in a little bit of penalty trouble here.
I think the conversation becomes, was he hidden or did he jump it?
They're going to say
I
illegal cross-check.
believe he was cross-checked in by Suffolk. He definitely was.
Yeah. He was jumping straight at the goalie.
Yeah, but you still can't help him in there as James Suffolk. I get why you want to have your cross-check ready, but sometimes you just got to let him go.
Yeah. We'll see now with a 5-on-3 for 6 seconds. Poland's probably going to have to wait and just go with the regular power play because it'll be a bit dangerous with Green coming out to take a shot right away. Backdoor. Elliott will shoot. It pings out. It's going to Sika, and they'll set up again. Fresh 30, 5-on-4 with 1:45 to go here on the power play. The momentum swinging a bit towards Poland. Can they take advantage, cash in on it? Now we're going to have a penalty to Poland. Is that holding the stick? Oh, cross check.
Cross check on Mayers.
That has been the Achilles heel for Poland throughout this tournament. Every time you start to feel momentum, it just, the balloon is deflated. And we're 4-on-4 for a minute and a half here. Hebig to Kernigan. Almost got another one through. Hebig goes to get it, and Kernigan's going to wind up with the loose ball. Australia completing a change. And Ratchie, the last man on, will hand it off to McIntosh. Looking to Hebig, gets it to him. Kernigan trying to screen a bit for him, the shuffle, the pass back. Sidearm rip, a hard shot, but off the boards and onto the back of the mesh. Two Poland players ahead. It's going to be a bounce pass, but really kind of caught him in the half hop. The short hop on Rat, and it's going to be going the other way. Papazoglu. Gets this hand out, the second one hand out in front of him, and rips up into the offensive zone, gives to Statham. So 9.5 minutes to go here in this third quarter, and still 26 seconds in the 4-on-4. Poland looking to get a goal. The outlet is a bit too far for Weens, or is it? That's a nice job to get it, but Dishon played it well. It can be kind of an in-between for the goalie. Now Poland gets it back. Weens another chance, Dishon another save, and Australia will get this one easily.
That's a double whammy. You hit the post and you get decked with a cross check.
So the Australia penalty ends. They go to the power play with 9 minutes to go and try to extend their 10-5 lead. Page at the top again on the power play. Ratchie. Hebig's shot, scores with 3 left on the power play. He gets he almost crouches down to the turf to get that low to low in there.
Well, when you need a big goal, you go to 10 and white, and Dylan Hebig has been shooting the lights out of this place here. Opened up the scoring in the game, and he's been phenomenal since. That's goal number 4 for him in the contest now. And Hebig, yeah, I think if we have an early running for player of the game, it's probably him.
You think Hebig? There's some other contenders certainly for that.
I think Ollie Kernigan's been good, but and I guess if you want the local the local talent, well then you'd go with Kernigan, but Hebig's been the one.
Nice save by Dishon. Australia gets over center, but Poland's going to come away with it. Elliott going to try and get across center. They're down to 12 on the shot clock as Australia never, oh, they do reset it. I thought they were saying there was no possession change, but they do give it to them. Over to the far side. Under 8 minutes to play. Hard sidearm rip. Let's go down to Ryan between the benches.
Yeah, and certainly not here to weigh in on player of the game, but certainly another guy playing very well for Australia here tonight. Obviously, the goaltender, Lucas Dishon. He was getting all kinds of attaboys after that third quarter, saying, hey, the times that we're out of position, he is bailing us out. But, man, over 40 saves now here in the game. He is having a whale of a performance here this afternoon.
Big steps being taken. Oh, it's picked off almost by Green. He had visions of a breakaway dancing in his head. Suffolk will pick up the check on Sika to not let him go. It's a good defensive press, but great job to fight through it and score by Sika. That is just a diligent working man effort to get out front and be able to get that shot off.
Well, down by 5 with 7:18. I guess the hope's not gone, but for Sika again, he's able, it's a little bit of a fadeaway, bounces it by the feet of Dishon, and it goes 5-hole on him.
11-6 the score now as Poland does creep back a little bit. It pops out, and nobody really sees where it is except for Coda Tran. Racing down on it, though, was the Australians, and Poland will be going to the power play again as we have a penalty coming to Australia right off the face-off. Rat drives to the net, goes right past it, circles around behind as the extra attacker comes out. I like that play by Elliott to roll out of the crease after he was knocked into it, just so he can take a shot, but I think he's just going to grind to a halt on top of the crease. The ball is buried under a pile of bodies, and they'll blow it down and call the slashing penalty.
Yeah, and if you're Rat, you could have pulled it out there and set up 6-on-5. Essentially, it's an extended power play.
Yeah, especially given that he had a chance to shoot in the first place and decided to circle around. And that's what I assumed he was doing. But it will be Kernigan going to the box with 6:46 to play. Thanks for being with us at the 2023 IIJL World Juniors. Steven Stamp with Cody Jansen and Ryan Flaherty. And Poland is on the power play again. Elliott at the top. Backpedals, skip pass to Sika. Up to Stewart. Mayers immediately down to Elliott. He rips one, saved by Dishon. Papazoglu, not sure he was aware that he had that check coming from Sika. Sika comes away with it. It's going to be held. Shot by Shireflug. Nice stop by Dishon. Gets it back and dunks it, but doesn't get there. It's going to be a hold on Papazoglu. And a 5-on-3 advantage for Poland for 1:28.
It felt like we had a partial whistle on that play as well. The guys kind of stopped playing for a little bit. Papazoglu is not happy, but it'll be a 5-on-3 now for $1.28. And Poland, well, you couldn't ask for any better opportunities. You can see Papazoglu, well, he's in the crease there. That's after the fact.
Yeah. So the pressure on Higgins, Green, and Suffolk for Australia. Backdoor attempt. Nice pass back the other way. What a save, Dishon. Great passing by Poland, and Dishon just back and forth. Now he's going to rip a pass. I think he's going to lob it up and let Suffolk run onto it. Tries to blast it through instead, and actually works out pretty well. Suffolk will pick it up behind the goal line. Drops it, but is able to scoop it up there with Mayers pressing him, and comes out of there with possession. It's a nice play by Suffolk, the alternate captain. The other two Australians are back in there, and now Green's going to run up and provide some support. Runs onto that pass that turned into a beauty. Had a chance at the net, but left the ball behind, and now it's a 3-on-1 for Poland. And Jack Higgins is not sure what to do, but he tips the ball behind the back. What a play by Higgins to get a stick on that pass. Sika blasts one. That goes wide. Shireflug sets him up again. He's going to go behind the back to Stewart. Goes backdoor to Elliott. Ball movement. Shireflug shot stopped. Elliott reaches in, but nice job to pop on top of that one by Green, the captain.
It's been the penalty kill of the tournament so far.
Drifts that one up about half the height of the Jumbotron. The overhead scoreboard. Didn't connect, but that was a long lob by Green. Down to 3 seconds on the first penalty. Mayers at the top letting everyone know there's a player coming out. Doesn't matter where anybody is because Shireflug places that one perfectly.
Bit of a delayed reaction as well, although Shireflug knew exactly where it was. Yeah. It was in the back of the net. Unfortunately for Poland, it's on the 5-on-3, so we're back to even strength, but they're now down by 4 with 4:41 to play. Caught Dishon with a little bit of a high step there. He didn't have his feet set, and as a goaltender, you can't adjust if you don't have your feet set. And Shireflug puts one off the post for his first of the game.
11-7 for Australia now. Poland back within 4 as we have 4:41 to play here in the fourth quarter. Australia has the ball. Statham will leave it for Page. Oh, sorry, that was Papazoglu. Close past it to Papazoglu, who was turning and going to the bench. Gave him a bit of a self-pass. And eventually, Statham has it and finds Ratchie coming off the bench. Up to Statham. He's going to blast one. Saved by Koza. Rebound popped out, but right there to get it was Valentino. Poland's going to have to slow it down. Good transition defense by Australia. Racing back to take away the opportunity to run for Poland. Pass through the middle. Stewart gets away from James. Circling out is Mayers to Stewart underneath. Falling attempt. Reset called. Elliott with a shot. That one's stopped by Dishon. Elliott trying to get another chance, goes to Mayers. Stewart's open on the far side. Mayers will try to pass it to him, but it was a bit of a marshmallow pass, and it's knocked down. Does eventually get through to Sika. Papazoglu on him. James will pick up Stewart. Then backs up and lets him shoot. Dishon has to make the stop. Butler will come out. Butler's going to run. Finds Ratchie. Handcuffed himself a little bit. And it's turned over, and here's a chance now the other way for Weens. Scores. That's a lovely little play.
Down by 3 with 3 to play. Poland's still in it now. It's definitely time to start pulling the goaltender and going 6-on-5. But a nice little up by Chase Richardson, and Nate Weens able to go glove side on Lucas Dishon to make it a game. We got an interesting finish coming down the stretch.
Possession important here, and Kernaghan gets it. And possession will be awarded to Australia on a loose ball foul. Nice job by Kernaghan, get rid of that before he could be pushed back over center. Awkward spot to have to start with the ball on the restart. And Australia just kept counting to see if they had 5 guys. They did not. They got Ratchie out there late. Thomas will hand it down to Hebig. 10 on the shot clock. Hebig rips one. It's a fresh 30 if they can get it back. And they will. McIntosh loses it though. Here goes Weens. He's going to run away from everyone. Oh, the man off the bench pretty quickly. I guess it's okay. Effort by Weens as he just somehow protected the stick and the ball and got that shot off. Stopped by Dishon.
Loose ball push behind the play.
2:12 to go.
Poland's still keeping Koza in the net.
Yeah. And they're not looking down at him trying to call him. They're just deciding to go with their set O. Sika. Pick coming from Goodwill. Slips it. There's the pick. Comes down the middle. Shoots. Save Dishon. Tucked back in Elliott. Poland is doing the goal a minute pace. With 1:49 to go, they're within 2. This is coming down to the wire.
Down by 2 with less than 2 to go. It's an interesting one here, and nice play by Sika to get out in front. He really starts this play. If not for him battling through 3 defenders, none of this happens. Got it on goal. Dishon couldn't handle the rebound, and Elliott has been stopped twice already on that rebound opportunity. Barry's on his 3rd time.
And Dishon makes a pretty good save there, but he had slid himself right past his post, basically. There's about 3/4 of the net available to Elliott, who calmly put it in, and Poland has possession. Rat gets stripped, and Papazoglu will get it.
You got to move the ball. You can't hold on to it for too long.
Green's going to take his time, get ahead, and Australia is screaming for a timeout. And Green just looks at the official, stops and says, hey, we're wanting a timeout. There's 1:25 to go. There's 20 seconds on the shot clock for Australia, and they have a 2-goal lead. And this is getting intense. Let's go down to Ryan between the benches. What you got, Flats?
Yeah, it is. What a difference the last few minutes have made for the Poland bench especially. They weren't quite exactly hanging their heads earlier in this quarter, trailing by a few more, but the life has just come right back into them with this comeback effort. Australia, though, they're still trying to do what they've been doing all game long, which is those quick changes, and the communication is getting a little bit loose at those benches, but right now they just want to settle down and try to preserve this 2-goal lead, or at least keep the lead here going home.
As the timeout wraps up, we're going to take a look at Henry Elliott's performance in this game, Cody.
And Elliott's been really strong for them. I think he's been one of the high points who we haven't really seen a ton of so far in this tournament. And now he's kind of come alive. He's got the hat trick already as you get a look at the 2 high to low shots. As most recently, he's able to bury the rebound. And again, you're going to have to force a turnover. You're down by 2. It's 1:30. Not out of it. But again, you're going to need to throw a double team sooner rather than later and get the goalie out.
We're ready to roll here. Just a little premature start. Hebig will start with it. Pressure right away from Valentino. Hebig runs towards the bench boards. Circles away. Pick coming from Showbrook. Gets it down to Kernaghan. a dozen left on the shot clock. He'll split the defense, absorbs the checks nicely, and pops out the other side. Can't handle that pass back, though. Weens has it. Australia's already made a change, though, and Papazoglu is out there. Nice hustle by Richardson, who just ran past the Australian defender. Kind of lost track of him. The pass ahead. Here's Higgins with a chance to ice it. He was looking for somebody to pass
The bench
to.
was yelling at him to slow it down, and
Yeah.
he just completely ignored him.
And now Butler's going to do the same thing. And as much as the Australian coaches are saying, yeah, we're just playing lacrosse, you're playing to win here. You got to play a bit more strategic. And the timeout will now be taken by Luke Szczepaniak, the head coach of Poland.
Well, I wonder if Koz is battling something right now. He's a little slow even just going to the bench. Maybe that's why they're not having him run, but it seems a little crazy to me, though, that down by 2, you wouldn't be going 6-on-5 in as many situations as possible.
You would, yeah. Obviously they will here. And quite a game for Ollie Kernaghan today.
Ollie's been fantastic. 3 goals, 1 assist. As you see the Ratchie pass over him to him, that's an outside blast that goes posting in. And again, Ratchie's been the feeder in this system. That's Australian talent connecting, and Ollie Kernaghan's been the one putting the ball in the back of the net.
And he enjoys being up on the board as well, as do the kids behind him. Nice little wave to the folks back in Australia. Thanks to everyone in Australia who's watching. This time works out pretty well for y'all, I hope. 37.9 seconds in the game, 22-23 on the shot clock. And we are ready to roll with a 2-goal Australian lead, 11-9. Poland with 6 attackers. We've got Coda Tran in the middle, the defender, in there to set some picks and cause some stir in there. Stop by Dishon, and Green's going to have a go at the net. Long lob shot goes wide. That's going to eat up a whole bunch of time as Stewart races back. He'll whip it ahead. Sika, as they have 14 left on the game clock. Tran opening up a space. Elliott runs into it, shoots, saved by Dishon. Throws out that right arm. 5 seconds. Another save by Dishon. That is an appropriate end to this 5th place game. As there's 1.5 to go, Green has gone down in a heap in front of the crease. He'll get up, they run the clock, and that's it. The Australians are your 5th place club at the 2023 IIJL World Juniors, and you can see what it means to them. Remember, stick with us. We'll have our players of the game after the handshakes, and we'll have the anthem of Australia.
What a win. The smiles tell the story. We can't do it enough justice up here for Australia. This is a massive moment.
A big hug. The other goaltender, Connor McGee, who was a player of the game earlier in the tournament, runs over and jumps up into the arms of Luke Thomas. Coaches with hugs all around, and a good-looking bench staff, really smartly put together. They went and got Wade Hammond and Jonathan Shaw and wait, not Jonathan Shaw. Jack Stokes. Sorry, I forgot. Just momentarily blanked on the third coach, who is Dan Hall. I should know that. That's actually my brother-in-law's name. But all the coaches go and get matching pale green blazers and darker green ties to look really sharp down on the benches, and they were working hard with this club, and they are rewarded with a tremendous effort in the final game. We'll have the handshakes, we'll have the players of the game. Australia still celebrating.
You get the little piggyback on Dishon, who was fantastic again. Like, he was in the running for player of the game, no doubt about it. 64 shots against.
So teams will line up on their respective restraining lines, and we'll start with the player of the game for the 6th seeded but 5th finishing Australia, presented by IIJL President Chris Fox. And it goes to
for Team
the
Australia,
sniper
number 22,
today.
Orlando Kernigan.
Ollie Kernigan with the hat trick. What a tremendous day for this young man.
4 points for Kernigan this game. His best game of the tournament by far.
Looking so much more confident as we go.
Team Poland, number 6, Henry Elliott.
Henry Elliott with the hat trick on the other side and really making a difference as they tried to come back, just falling a bit short.
Without him, this one is not close.
We're going to hear the Australian anthem, but stay with us. Ryan Flaherty will be on the floor for an interview with a player after the anthem is played.
Please rise, and if possible, remove any traditional non-headwear as the national anthem for Australia will be played.
That is a robust rendition of the Australian anthem by their players and coaches. Ryan Flaherty is zipping in to grab a player. He's going to have to pull them away from the celebration. Ollie Kernigan says, I will happily come with you. We're going to go to the floor in just a moment to Ryan Flaherty with Ollie Kernigan.
Well, the whole team's followed him over there as well as Flats is trying to get free.
Okay, we are ready for Ryan Flaherty with Ollie Kernigan.
All right, Ollie, been a long week for you guys, and you ended off with a win here. Just how does it feel to come away with this victory tonight?
It's so proud of the boys. I can't, just waiting for this moment all week. And very proud of everyone from where we've come to where we are now. It's just so insane. Good job, boys.
That's what we've been talking about all week long, is the learning that you guys are doing all week long here. What's it been like, the progress, and how have you seen this team grow from game one now here to winning this one today?
Well, we first started here with playing against a local team. We got pumped, and our offenses gelled together, so has our defense, and our goalies have stepped up really well, so I'm so proud of them.
Long flight home, but I imagine it's going to be a pretty fun one for you. What are you looking forward to?
Probably sleep the most. That's about it.
All right, well, congrats on the win. Go celebrate with your teammates. Yeah. That's Oliver Kernigan. Guys?
Thanks for being with us here at the 2023 IIJL World Junior Lacrosse Championship at SaskTel Center. 11-9 Australia over Poland. Scotland and Israel are next at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time.